August 15, 1977 was a routine day at Ohio Wesleyan University, but tonight something was going to happen here which will remain a mystery for humans for years to come. The 30-meter-wide reflector of the Big Ear radio telescope in the university detected a very large radio signal at 10:1 meters at night. This signal passed through the telescope to the IBM 1130 car, and from here it was automatically converted and went to the printer. At this time of the night, there was complete silence in the control room except for the sound of the printer. The signal printed on the paper got buried among all the other printouts, and at the moment no one came to know that the Big Ear telescope has received an alien signal, coming from the Sagittarius constellation in the sky. After a few days, the technician of the control room picked up all the printouts and astronomically identified this signal. Jerry Ehman saw it and highlighted it with his red pen and wrote "wow" next to it. Since then it is known as WOW signal. But what was so special about this signal? It has been an astronova for the last 47 years. Was this signal from Sagittarius constellation a message from aliens or just a coincidence? There was a study behind the importance of WOW signal which was released about 18 years before this incident. What happened was that in 1959, Cornell University physicists Philip Morrison and Giuseppe Capani released a paper in which it was hypothesized that if there is any extraterrestrial civilization in the universe, then it will use the frequency of 1420 MHz to communicate with us, the people living on Earth. The reason for using this is that this frequency naturally emanates from hydrogen, and everyone knows that hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, and it can be a common and understandable reference for every technological advanced civilization. That is why this frequency is considered ideal for extraterrestrial communication. After this study, in 1973, Ohio State University dedicated its radio telescope Big Ear to search for signals of intelligent life outside the Earth's atmosphere, and this mission was named Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, or SETI. This mission was the longest-running mission of its time, which was designed to search for life outside the Earth. The Big Ear radio telescope was located near the Perkins Observatory on the campus of Ohio Wesleyan University. Its mission was to scan different parts of the sky, and any intelligent signal coming from outside the Earth was to be detected. To understand the data of Big Ear radio telescope, Astronova was agreed to do this work. On the night of August 15, 1977 at 10:1, the signal received by the telescope was so unique and powerful that Ehman and his fellow scientists were astonished. The telescope recorded this signal for a full 72 seconds, which after computer conversion became 6EKYJ5. The numbers and letters in this signal are not any hidden message, rather they show the intensity of the signal and its strength. There are total 6 characters in the WOW signal, and each character or number represents the time of 12 seconds, i.e. the telescope will detect the signal for 12 seconds, then record it in the computer and then start recording the next 12 seconds. I.e. if there are 6 characters in the WOW signal and each character or number represents the time of 12 seconds, then the signal will be recorded in the computer. If the signal is of 10 seconds, then it means that the WOW signal kept reaching the telescope for a total of 72 seconds. Let us tell you here that when the telescope does not receive any signal, it records the value of 0. The smallest signal is 1, and similarly, as the numbers keep increasing, it means that the intensity of the signal is increasing. Normally, signals of 1 to 3 or 4 intensity were received in the Big Ear telescope, but the WOW signal started with 6. If the signal is of a value greater than 10, then it will be converted into alphabets, like 10 means A, 11 means B, and 12 means C. Similarly, it will move forward. The second part of the WOW signal was converted by the computer into E, which means 14, that is, where the intensity of the signal was 6 in the last 12 seconds, it became 14 in the next 12 seconds. The third is Q, whose value becomes 26. The largest value of this signal was 30, which the computer converted into Y, and then, in the last 2 parts its value became J, i.e. 20, and then 5. The most special thing about this wave signal was that it was heard only on the channel of frequency of 1420 MHz, the same frequency which naturally comes out from the hydrogen element, This is the reason that astronova may be arising, because there are so many asteroids, planets, galaxies, and clusters in the universe. This signal may have been generated randomly from somewhere. Then why is it being linked to aliens? Actually, the 1420 MHz frequency is of hydrogen line, which emits the most common element of the universe. Scientists believe that if any alien civilization wants to communicate, it will choose a universal and easily understandable frequency which every advanced species can understand. Secondly, if a line chart of the strength of the WOW signal is made, it looks very unique. This signal reached a value of 30 and then slowly faded away. And such signals can only be generated intentionally. Another reason for linking the WOW signal to aliens is that cosmic events in space do emit signals, but they are not of this pattern. That is, they slowly rise and slowly end. Neither do these signals come only once. But one more special thing about the WOW signal which points towards aliens is that this signal was heard only once. If this signal was generated due to some natural event, it would have been heard again and again. And most importantly, it is not in the frequency band of 1420 MHz. Now coming to our second question, from which location of the sky did this signal come? The exact location of the WOW signal from where it came is very difficult to know due to the design of the Big Air telescope. There were two different structures in the telescope which were called feed horns. Due to the rotation of the ground, both these feed horns were scanning the sky in different directions. The WOW signal was heard only in one of these feed horns, but not in the other. And the data was processed in such a way that it is not possible to decide which horn heard the signal. Because we have two different locations where the two feed horns were directed at the time, and the signal may have come from these two locations, but it is not exactly confirmed which of these two locations it was. The location of the signal was in a specific area of the Sagittarius constellation, which was close to the globular cluster M55 and Tau Sagittarius. This mystery is still unsolved because we know that the WOW signal came from the Sagittarius constellation, but the exact coordinates have not been confirmed yet. There are many theories and hypotheses about the WOW signal as to what it was and where it came from, but scientists do not agree on any one theory. One possibility is that it was an interstellar twin link of a weak signal just like stars twinkle, but this signal could not be detected by the Very Large Array Telescope, which is a more sensitive telescope than the Big Ear. If this signal was detected on the Big Ear due to interstellar twinkle, then why did it not occur on the VL? Hence this theory also proved to be wrong. Another idea expressed is that perhaps this signal was generated from the Earth itself, but was reflected from an asteroid or space object in space and was recorded back on the Big Ear telescope. But this theory also proved to be wrong later because scientists say that if this signal was generated on the Earth itself, then by the time it collided with the space object and returned, it would not have had so much strength that it could reach the value of YIE 30. Another issue is that the frequency band of 1420 MHz is reserved for astronomy, and radios on the ground are not allowed to send signals on this frequency. That is why it is not possible for the WOW signal to be generated on Earth itself. Jerry Ehman and others used the meta-array of astronova. In 1995, Paul Shu used the telescope of the Greek Bank Observatory. Then, in 1999, Gray and Simon Ellingson also used the 26-meter telescope of Mount Pleasant Radio Observatory. But the result was always the same: complete silence. Was this signal an accident, or did the aliens want to contact us and then stopped? In 2017, Antonio Perez said that this signal may have come from the hydrogen cloud of two planets 266P and 335P. But the astronova signal is a mystery whose answer is not available to the scientists till date. Was it a message from an alien civilization or a natural cosmic event? The scientific community is still trying to understand the origin of this signal. It is happening today. Nearly 47 years have passed since the WOW signal was recorded, but after the night of August 15, 1977, this signal was never recorded again on any telescope. I hope you will like and share this video.